Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live. I am Steven Airey, and we are on Mojo 50 Radio. As we speak, the president is walking in and doing his little shaking of hands and everything else. Going to cut right to the chase. Before we get to him and everything else, we're going to go through, it is going to be Political Science Theater 3000. Political Science Theater 3000. It's what's going on. I don't know why Spreaker is not loading their Mama Lee. It is not me. I promise it is not me. So here's what's going on. If you want to go through, just go through anywhere else you can. Listen to it live on iHeartRadio and all that jazz. So, couple things wanted to let you know about. First off, ERA Capital Management, ERA Capital Management. If you go to eracapitalmanagement.com today, or you call them at 509-559-6929, you see, they are retirement planning extraordinaire. See, retirement planning is not something to overlook. You need to act now. Contact ERA Capital Management today. They can help you put an investment plan into place using their in-house portfolio management processes. Your life, your era, invest in it. ERA Capital Management, LLC, is a registered investment advisor. Investing in all securities involves risk of loss. Visit eracapitalmanagement.com or call them at 509-559-6229. 6229. So 509-559-6229. eracapitalmanagement.com. eracapitalmanagement.com. So, yeah, iHeart is on for me. It is not on for the Spreaker and everything like that. I'm waiting for the president to kick on. So, we do have a couple games. Apparently, if you are listening to everything or watching on the YouTubes or watching on the Facebook, hey, you guys, got the roughs going in and everything on the Facebooks. Okay, so I believe the Political Science Theater games have been put into place. If you want to be involved in the drinking game, here's how it goes. First, if Trump makes a Trump word, you then take a drink. Also, if they do a side shot of Nancy Pelosi and she's doing the side eye, you take a shot. That is how it works. That is how it goes. If you have comments, post them. I will speak them. I believe we're about to go to the setup now. Let's check it out and see how this is going. It looks like, I mean, hold on. Let me see if we got some audio in here.
Speaker Pelosi and Vice President Mike
Here he comes,
Pence,
here he comes. Yep, let's kind of go to it, and we're working from there, all right?
Reactions
you see it here.
Throughout the night, because they are the fixture. Again, as tradition would have it. The president at this point enjoying round of applause that he's getting
thanks, Megan
everybody's
Price.
standing,
That's amazing.
Democrats
Thank
and
you.
Republicans.
I didn't know I rocked, but that's awesome. I'm glad you like it.
The president comes in. Peter Weiner,
here we go.
you've watched this president
a whole bunch of
before.
clappings.
He seems to be enjoying the moment.
Oh,
well,
clapping. Oh, that's Bernie Sanders.
He's the center of attention, and he is the center of attention. But I'll tell you what I'm looking for in this speech is, his aides are saying that this is going to be an effort to unify the country.
Spreaker always takes a minute to kind of pop on. It just is what it is.
The reason I don't is that this is a person whose entire presidency has been based on division and acrimony and anger. And number one, I don't know that he can pull it off. And
so
number
much
two,
anger.
even if he does, I don't know how plausible it is or how long it'll last.
Amy Walter, that's the skepticism that's out there, isn't it?
So much skepticism.
Well-earned skepticism. But look, there are actually
so we're hearing the commentary because obviously I'm getting this from PBS News, so I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I'm having to pull what I can.
Madam Speaker.
Oh, here he comes.
Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States.
I'm going to talk to my wife here for a minute. Just wanted to let you guys know. Isn't she great? She's hot. It's my hot wife. Hot wife in the corner.
And my fellow Americans, we meet tonight at a moment of unlimited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
Not as two parties, but one nation. Applause line. Everybody, stand up. Applause line.
The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people. Many of us have campaigned on the same core promises to defend American jobs and demand fair trade for American workers, to rebuild and revitalize our nation's infrastructure, to reduce the price of health care and prescription drugs, to create an immigration system that is safe, lawful, modern, and secure, and to pursue a foreign policy that puts America's interest first. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it.
Random applause line. Hey, look, it's the ladies in white. And cream and beige, because some don't have white.
Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country.
That's right, victory's winning for our country. Yeah. Applause line, everybody. Get up. Get up, stand up.
This year, America will recognize two important anniversaries that show us the majesty of America's mission and the power of American pride. In June, we mark 75 years since the start of what General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade, the Allied liberation of Europe in World War II. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, 15,000 young American men jumped from the sky and 60,000 more stormed in from the sea to save our civilization from tyranny. Here with us tonight are three of those incredible heroes. Private First Class Joseph Riley, Staff Sergeant Irving Locker, and Sergeant Herman Zaitchik.
And they brought a whole bunch of guys from D-Day. Applaud them because they did earn their service. Applaud them, everybody. They did earn their service. Although it is just a prop, and that is not necessary to have at the State of the Union. He should just be getting down to brass tacks and burning bridges right now. So what the heck? I'm glad these guys are still alive. They can get some applause for what they've done in their service, but at the same time, they're being used. Even though they are real heroes, but they're getting used. This is a political stunt.
Gentlemen, we salute you. In 2019, we also celebrate 50 years since brave young pilots flew 250,000 miles through space to plant the American flag on the face of the moon. Half a century later, we are joined by one of the Apollo 11 astronauts who planted that flag, Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin. All right. Glad he's there too. Good stuff. Once again, why is he there? This is the State of the Union, not a celebrity show. I'm gonna get it. Once again, great. Support our heroes, salute our heroes. This guy did great stuff. But once again, he's not necessary for this job.
Thank you, Buzz. This year, American astronauts will go back to space on American rockets.
Oh, okay, that's a good play. Talk about Buzz Aldrin, and then, you know, yeah, we're going back into space. Okay, that's cool. That works.
In the 20th century, America saved freedom, transformed science, redefined the middle class, and when you get down to it, there's nothing anywhere in the world that can compete with America.
Yes, that is true.
Now we must step boldly and bravely into the next chapter of this great American adventure. And we must create a new standard of living for the 21st century. An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach. We can make our community safer, our families stronger, our culture richer, our faith deeper, and our middle class bigger and more prosperous than ever before.
Things are going to get bigger, more prosperous than ever before, guys. Bigger and more prosperous. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to get to the meat of the problem, too, there, Rocky.
But we must reject the politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good.
Another applause line. There's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Still works.
Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make. We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight, I ask you to choose greatness.
Take a drink, everybody. She's giving like 5 side eyes.
Over the last 2 years, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to confront problems neglected by leaders of both parties over many decades. In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs, and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
Yeah, just getting started. Woo! Yeah! We haven't done anything yet. We're just kind of getting there. It was kind of barely a thing, but we got it, and we're getting better at it. Yeah.
Wages are rising at the fastest pace in decades and growing for blue-collar workers who I promised to fight for. They're growing faster than anyone else thought possible. Nearly 5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps.
Okay, that's good. Yes, food stamps. 5 million off of food stamps.
the U.S. economy is growing almost twice as fast today as when I took office, and we are considered far and away the hottest economy anywhere in the world. Not even close.
Best economy in the world, not even close.
Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century.
That is true. That is very true. That is an actual good applause line. That's a good applause line right there.
African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all reached their lowest levels ever recorded.
Lowest levels ever. Lowest levels ever. That's also true. And so, you know, clapping and standing. Yeah. Clapping and standing, clapping and standing. Mike Pence clapping and standing. Everybody look away. Oh, and drink again. There's been at least 2 more side eyes.
Unemployment for Americans with disabilities has also reached an all-time low.
Yes, all-time lows.
More people are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 157 million people at work.
And we have more jobs than we have people working right now. So that's a really good thing.
We passed a massive tax cut for working families and doubled the child tax credit.
Don't really know about that one. That's not, you know, that's good for, you know, working class families, I guess, and people that are lower income, but at the same time, it's, you know, more taxes being taken in and stuff like that. So bad idea.
We virtually ended the estate tax, or death tax, as it is often called, on small businesses, for ranches, and also for family farms.
Sorry, Walter, not going to shut up.
We eliminated the very unpopular Obamacare individual mandate penalty.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. We really should have had the drinking game for clapping. The drinking game should have been about clapping.
And to give critically ill patients access to life-saving cures, we passed, very importantly, right to try.
The right to try. One lady standing up in pink. Look at that one lady standing up in pink.
My administration has cut more regulations in a short period of time than any other administration during its entire tenure.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Companies are coming back to our country in large numbers, thanks to our historic reductions in taxes and regulations.
Except for not as much.
And we have unleashed a revolution in American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world.
Really? I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I'm just like, okay, maybe so.
And now, for the first time in 65 years, we are a net exporter of energy.
All right.
After 24 months of rapid progress, our economy is the envy of the world. Our military is the most powerful on earth by far. And America...
They don't look impressed. Generals don't look impressed. You probably did hear boos, Sean. Just saying.
America is again winning each and every day. Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
Could we say that that was technically a Trumpism? It might have been a Trumpism. Might have to drink for that one.
That sounds so good. Our country is vibrant, and our economy is thriving like never before. On Friday, it was announced that we added another 304,000 jobs last month alone, almost double the number expected.
If anybody else saw that, Nancy just said something under her breath. Take a drink.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations.
That's also considered politics. Take a drink. You see the side eye? You see the side eye?
If there is going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigation. It just doesn't work that way.
Trump had alliteration.
We must be united at home to defeat our adversaries abroad. This new era of cooperation can start with finally confirming the more than 300 highly qualified nominees who are still stuck in the Senate, in some cases years and years waiting. Not right.
That was a Trumpism. Not right. Take a drink.
The Senate has failed to act on these nominations, which is unfair to the nominees and very unfair to our country. Now is the time for bipartisan action. Believe it or not, we have already proven that that's possible. In the last Congress, both parties came together to pass unprecedented legislation to confront the opioid crisis, a sweeping new farm bill, historic VA reforms, and after 4 decades of rejection, we passed VA accountability so that we can finally terminate those who mistreat our wonderful veterans.
Wait a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold the phone. Did he say that we can finally get rid of those guys? We're gonna have to redo that one a little bit here. We'll do that later.
And just weeks ago, both parties united for groundbreaking criminal justice reform. They said it couldn't be done.
Up, guys. Okay, we have to take a commercial break. We'll be playing this through the commercials on the Facebook and the YouTube, so you'll be able to see it there.
Last year,
hold on.
I heard through friends the story of Alice Johnson. Over the next 22 years, she became a prison minister, inspiring others to choose a better path. She had a big impact on that prison population and far beyond. Alice's story underscores the disparities and unfairness that can exist in criminal sentencing and the need to remedy this total injustice. She served almost that 22 years and had expected to be in prison for the remainder of her life. In June, I commuted Alice's sentence. When I saw Alice's beautiful family greet her at the prison gates, hugging and kissing and crying and laughing, I knew I did something right. Alice is with us tonight, and she is a terrific woman. Terrific. Alice, please.
Highlighting the success of Kanye and Kim jumping in on that one, so that's good. By the way, if everybody's still listening, you should have taken about 3 drinks now. 3 more drinks, that is.
Alice, thank you for reminding us that we always have the power to shape our own destiny. Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's at least 2 more.
Inspired by stories like Alice's, my administration worked closely with members of both parties to sign the First Step Act into law.
First Step Act into law, everybody.
This legislation reformed sentencing laws that have wrongly and disproportionately harmed the African American community. The First Step Act gives nonviolent offenders the chance to re-enter society as productive, law-abiding citizens. Now, states across the country are following our lead. America is a nation that believes in redemption. We are also joined tonight by Matthew Charles from Tennessee. In 1996, at the age of 30, Matthew was sentenced to 35 years for selling drugs and related offenses. Over the next 2 decades, he completed more than 30 Bible studies, became a law clerk, and mentored many of his fellow inmates. Now Matthew is the very first person to be released from prison under the First Step Act.
There was also twice the side eye from Nancy Pelosi. Have another drink, all you direct-holes.
Matthew, please. Thank you, Matthew. Welcome home. Now, Republicans and Democrats must join forces again to confront an urgent national crisis. Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human traffickers out of business.
Take them out, man. Got to take them out of business. They can no longer have no business. applause line. And by the way, drink if you haven't got it.
As we speak, large, organized caravans are on the march to the United States. We have just heard that Mexican cities, in order to remove the illegal immigrants from their communities, are getting trucks and buses to bring them up to our country in areas where there is little border protection. I have ordered another 3,750 troops to our southern border to prepare for this tremendous onslaught. This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America. We have a moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens. This includes our obligation to the millions of immigrants living here today who followed the rules and respected our laws. Legal immigrants enrich our nation and strengthen our society in countless ways.
Legal immigration over illegal immigration. That sounds like a good idea to me. By the way, take another drink, everybody.
I want people to come into our country in the largest numbers ever, but they have to come in legally.
He wants them to come in, but they have to come in legally. Did you hear that, everybody?
Tonight, I am asking you to defend our very dangerous southern border out of love and devotion to our fellow citizens and to our country. No issue better illustrates the divide between America's working class and America's political class than illegal immigration. Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards. Meanwhile, working-class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Reduced jobs, lower wages, overburdened schools, hospitals that are so crowded you can't get in, increased crime, and a depleted social safety net. Tolerance for illegal immigration is not compassionate. It is actually very cruel.
True.
1 in 3 women is sexually assaulted on the long journey north. Smugglers use migrant children as human pawns to exploit our laws and gain access to our country. Human traffickers and sex traffickers take advantage of the wide open areas between our ports of entry to smuggle thousands of young girls and women into the United States and to sell them into prostitution and modern-day slavery. Tens of thousands of innocent Americans are killed by lethal drugs that cross our border and flood into our cities, including meth, heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl. The savage gang, MS-13, now operates in at least 20 different American states, and they almost all come through our southern border. Just yesterday, an MS-13 gang member was taken into custody for a fatal shooting on a subway platform in New York City. We are removing these gang members by the thousands, but until we secure our border, they're going to keep streaming right back in. Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens. I've gotten to know many wonderful angel moms and dads and families. No one should ever have to suffer the horrible heartache that they have had to endure. Here tonight is Deborah Bissell. Just 3 weeks ago, Deborah's parents, Gerald and Sharon, were burglarized and shot to death in their Reno, Nevada home by an illegal alien. They were in their 80s and are survived by 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren. Also here tonight are Gerald and Sharon's granddaughter, Heather, and great-granddaughter, Madison. To Deborah, Heather, Madison, please stand. Few can understand your pain. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Take a drink.
I will never forget, and I will fight for the memory of Gerald and Sharon, that it should never happen again. Not one more American life should be lost because our nation failed to control its very dangerous border. In the last 2 years, our brave ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted of nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 killings or murders. We are joined tonight by one of those law enforcement heroes, ICE Special Agent Elvin Hernandez. When Elvin When Elvin was a boy, he and his family legally immigrated to the United States from the Dominican Republic. At the age of 8, Elvin told his dad he wanted to become a special agent. Today, he leads investigations into the scourge of international sex trafficking. Elvin says that if I can make sure these young girls get their justice, I've really done my job. Thanks to his work and that of his incredible colleagues, more than 300 women and girls have been rescued from the horror of this terrible situation. And more than 1,500 sadistic traffickers have been put behind bars.
Well, looks like she's one of a good option there. AOC wants to leave.
Thank you, Albert. We will always support the brave men and women of law enforcement. And I pledge to you tonight that I will never abolish our heroes from ICE. Thank you.
No abolishing ICE. Good job. Very, very nice.
My administration has sent to Congress a common-sense proposal to end the crisis on the southern border. It includes humanitarian assistance, more law enforcement, drug detection at our ports, closing loopholes that enable child smuggling, and plans for a new physical barrier or wall to secure the vast areas between our ports of entry. In the past, most of the people in this room voted for a wall, but the proper wall never got built. I will get it built.
That sounds like Trump is saying that it's going to happen no matter what.
This is a smart, strategic, see-through steel barrier, not just a simple concrete wall. It will be deployed in the areas identified by the border agents as having the greatest need. And these agents will tell you where walls go up, illegal crossings go way, way down.
That's a Trumpism, the way, way down. Drink, everybody, on the Jack Old Nation.
San Diego used to have the most illegal border crossings in our country. In response, a strong security wall was put in place. This powerful barrier almost completely ended illegal crossings. The border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crime, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous cities. Now, immediately upon its building, with a powerful barrier in place, El Paso is one of the safest cities in our country. Simply put, walls work and walls save lives.
If you guys haven't caught up, that's about 4 drinks you need to have. 4 drinks you need to have since I talked to you last.
So let's work together, compromise, and reach a deal that will truly make America safe. As we work to defend our people's safety, we must also ensure our economic resurgence continues at a rapid pace. No one has benefited more from our thriving economy than women, who have filled 58% of the newly created jobs last year.
Nobody in the white room stands up. None of the white shirts stand up. Oh, wait, there they go. They're starting to stand. They're like, yeah, that's a good thing. We're standing, even though Nancy isn't standing. We're going to stand, even though Nancy's not standing. Yay! Nancy don't like it. Take a shot. Oh, she did stand up. Look at her. Nancy's standing up.
You weren't supposed to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before.
You weren't supposed to do that again.
Don't sit yet. You're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before.
Pandering to the crowd of women. Pandering to the crowd of women, but that's all right. Sometimes you got to pander a little bit. Bring the bone. With the bone.
That's great. Very great. And congratulations. That's great. As part of our commitment to improving opportunity for women everywhere, this Thursday, we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries. To build on, thank you. To build on our incredible economic success, one priority is paramount: reversing decades of calamitous trade policies. So bad. We are now making it clear to China that after years of targeting our industries and stealing our intellectual property, the theft of American jobs and wealth has come to an end. Therefore, we recently imposed tariffs on $250 billion of Chinese goods, and now our Treasury is receiving billions and billions of dollars. But I don't blame China for taking advantage of us. I blame our leaders and representatives for allowing this travesty to happen. I have great respect for President Xi, and we are now working on a new trade deal with China. But it must include real structural change to end unfair trade practices, reduce our chronic trade deficit, and protect American jobs.
No trade deficit. Okay.
Another historic trade blunder was the catastrophe known as NAFTA. I have met the men and women of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, New Hampshire, and many other states whose dreams were shattered by the signing of NAFTA. For years, politicians promised them they would renegotiate for a better deal. But no one ever tried until now. Our new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, will replace NAFTA and deliver for American workers like they haven't had delivered to for a long time. I hope you can pass the USMCA into law so that we can bring back our manufacturing jobs in even greater numbers, expand American agriculture, protect intellectual property, and ensure that more cars are proudly stamped with our 4 beautiful words: Made in the USA.
USMCA, made in the USA.
Tonight, I am also asking you to pass the United States Reciprocal Trade Act so that if another country places an unfair tariff on an American product, we can charge them the exact same tariff on the exact same product that they sell to us.
Tariff for tariff, tit for tat.
Both parties should be able to unite for a great rebuilding of America's crumbling infrastructure. I know that Congress is eager to pass an infrastructure bill, and I am eager to work with you on legislation to deliver new and important infrastructure investment, including investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future. This is not an option. This is a necessity. The next major priority for me and for all of us should be to lower the cost of health care and prescription drugs and to protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
Oh, crap.
Already as a result of my administration's efforts in 2018, drug prices experienced their single largest decline in 46 years. But we must do more. It's unacceptable that Americans pay vastly more than people in other countries for the exact same drugs, often made in the exact same place. This is wrong, this is unfair, and together we will stop it, and we'll stop it fast.
It'll be stopped, and stopped quickly, but only together, only together.
I am asking Congress to pass legislation that finally takes on the problem of global freeloading and delivers fairness and price transparency for American patients, finally. We should also require drug companies, insurance companies, and hospitals to disclose real prices to foster competition and bring costs way down.
Anytime the government says we should force a company to do something, I kind of get a little antsy, but, you know.
No force in history has done more to advance the human condition than American freedom. In recent years, in recent years, we have made remarkable progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Scientific breakthroughs have brought a once distant dream within reach. My budget will ask Democrats and Republicans to make the needed commitment to eliminate the HIV epidemic in the United States within 10 years. We have made incredible strides,
Incredible strides in the HIV epidemic. Guys, that sound right there means that I have to cut off the transmission because we're going out of the show. You can catch the rest of it, I'm sure, pretty much anywhere you like. I use the PBS thing from everything else. By the way, guys, if you haven't caught up, catch up, jackholes. That's right. Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next time. This has been Defenders Live on Mojo 50. Later.